Only in the game just to get my fatty. And these lazy ain't got competition. It's me versus me, love key talk game.
Check it out, man. All right. So previously I made that video on HoneyKomb Brazy, and I pretty much let y'all know that, the feds have actually stepped in. And not only did the feds step in, I also let y'all know that HoneyKomb Brazy security were all felons, which is wild. And I said, that's stupid moving. It's dumb moving. That like that. There's no excuse to be moving like that. Why in the blue hell would you hire some people that's actually felons? You know what I'm talking about? Meaning they can't have guns. Either way it goes. You know what I'm talking about? They're supposed to be your protection. Now, although the feds have added these extra charges, it does look like Brazy and his sister has actually came out and spoke on this, and they're putting a lot of the blame of the security that was hired, because Brazy's manager is actually the one that hired his security, you know what I'm talking about? And he pretty much believes that the manager, along with those other guys with the security, was setting him up, because he's now saying that the security guys had like a 3 to 4 hour conversation with the police and stuff like that, and when Brazy and them try to talk to them, they say, no, we can't talk to you. So potentially they're going to do some type of like setting Brazy up type stuff. Right now, Brazy came out and spoke, and then also the manager came out and he agreed, yes, I did hire the security that ultimately were felons, but when the time I did hire them, they weren't felons. Right, so I'm gonna read y'all pretty much everything and we can go over it together. So HoneyKomb Brazy and his sister pretty much posted to his page and said, boy, this Brazy, how the fuck they doing, my brother? I hustle, no luck. Of course, that's the Instagram name of HoneyKomb Brazy's manager. I hustle, no luck, brought these fake security niggas around him from Texas, and we thinking these motherfuckers are legit. How the these felons too got us thinking y'all hire real security? So that alone shows y'all that Brazy didn't have like an input on his security being hired, right? He just needed security, and obviously it's the manager's job to supply the artists with the protection that they need and other stuff that they need, or at least in this case, it was his job to do that, right? And then they continued and said, then niggas pleaded not guilty, and like they trying to set him up. And then they pleaded not guilty, which means they're saying, hey, these guns ain't mine. Whatever of the syrup in the car ain't mine. The Zaza ain't mine. So pretty much if they're saying it's not theirs, who are they going to say it belongs to? HoneyKomb Brazy. Who got some extra federal charges that just came in? HoneyKomb Brazy. So you put 2 and 2 together, right? And then it says, and niggas pleading not guilty, like they trying to set him up. But the guns in one of them niggas' name and the other baby mama name. So the guns that the security guards had, one of the guns was in their name, and the other gun was in the baby mama's name of one of the security guards. So with that being said, that leaves a little hope for HoneyKomb Brazy right there, right? When he's got to go to court, his lawyer can say, hey, listen, these guys are pleading not guilty, but the guns is literally in their names. All my client was doing was he hired them for security. Well, he didn't even hire them. His management hired them for security. So he didn't know that he had these guys around him that were felons. But of course, that still won't help out with whatever HoneyKomb Brazy has to take responsibility for, which could potentially be some other stuff that was in the car that I'm sure he will say is his, right? Because he don't seem like the snitching type. Then he continues and says, so how the fuck y'all pleading not guilty? Then on top of that, they moved my brother to another prison and keep you niggas down in the city back there talking to police for 3 to 4 hours. Then when Brazy tried to see what's up with niggas talking about they can't talk to him, and that was the part where I was telling y'all they talked to the 12 already, security them, and I'm talking about, and rejected any type of conversation from Brazy, his team, or anybody like that at all, which just kind of got HoneyKomb Brazy people thinking that them dudes gonna work with the 12, which they probably will. Nobody ain't trying to go to jail, I'm talking about, for a long period of time. Like I told you, this is hip hop. We know what's been going down in hip hop. All the rap niggas been snitching. All the rap niggas, securities, partners, homies, all that, right? It's just the trend that's going on. And then Brazy and them continued and said, the type of time you goes on. My fucking brother got out doing the right stuff, giving back to the community, squashing beef in the city. He actually did, was giving back to the community, and 100% he was squashing beef in his city. Obviously not squashing with HoneyKomb, with Finesse 2 Times, who isn't a part of his city, but definitely in his city, he was trying to squash a whole lot of the beef, right? Moving right with some fake security that he thought was legit, and he get caught up like this on some bullshit because ain't hire the real security. Boy, all you, because goals. So, with that being said, of course, a lot of people's coming out like, dang, they really did set up Brazy. Like, his manager set up Brazy, because he obviously called out his manager in the first sentence of the post that I just read, in which that made the manager have to come out and respond to pretty much try to protect his name, because, future clients, he can have future clients, what I'm talking about. And then it just looks bad. I mean, this looks terrible. I ain't gonna cap. Like, this is a drop ball, what I'm talking about. This looks terrible. What I'm talking about. Just like I told y'all, bro, hiring security that are felons. But here's the thing about it. The manager did come out and he pretty much said, hey, when I hired them, they weren't felons. And actually, I'm going to read y'all exactly what the manager says, right? The manager came out and said, I usually don't do internet, but I'm going to address this one time. I took all proper precaution when hiring the security guard. So that alone shows that he did take the responsibility of hiring the security. So at least he ain't coming out saying, hey, I ain't do that. I'm talking about, that ain't my responsibility. So he agreed that he hired him, right? He said, I did a proper background check. He had no background and had all proper security credentials during this time working. He got a restraining order put on him in his personal life and didn't disclose this to anyone. So the very fact that Buddy got a restraining order put on him, probably a felony restraining order, because that's what the feds is coming out and saying, pretty much saying that these guys were felons. And by him not disclosing that information with them, it put everybody in liability, right? So ultimately, it falls on the security guard for not handling his responsibility and being truthful and telling everybody. But then, of course, it's going to fall on the management, because at the end of the day, he's managing the whole situation, right? So, but yeah, the security guard definitely did drop the ball by not disclosing. I mean, he ain't trying to disclose. He's trying to get his paper. I'm talking about, especially if he just got a charge, whatever charge it may have been that made him get some sort of, restraining order on him. I mean, he restrained him from doing what he want to do. He tried to get the paper. So that's what it's going to come down to, right? And then the manager continues and says, what he did in his personal life was kept confidential, and me and any of the team was informed he was prohibited. So he pretty much said if he knew about it, then he would have prohibited that person, which probably could have helped out a lot of this. Wouldn't have stopped everything, because obviously there was still some stuff within the vehicle that HoneyKomb Brazy is probably going to have to take responsibility for, but at least he wouldn't have had, non-security around him, because his security was technically non-security because they was all felons. You can't be a felony security. I mean, I'm talking about, that restricts you from everything, right? So, with all that being said, we just gonna have to see how the story goes. I do think there is a little hope for HoneyKomb Brazy, just based off the fact that the manager has came out and admitted that he hired a security, and then also the fact that, if he can show proof that they did background checks on security guards, that they had all the proper security credentials, and then also the fact that the guns that HoneyKomb Brazy's sister and him on that post said that the guns were in the security names, and also one of the guns was in the baby mother's name. So that's definitely good for HoneyKomb Brazy, and we'll just have to see how it goes from there. But in totality, this is just tragic for HoneyKomb Brazy, because once again, he's back in jail. Once again, he ain't out recording, ain't making money from his music or any stuff like that at all, or in the streets, or however he was making money, because he back locked up, right? He been locked up for more than half of his life, though, so I'm sure he's used to being locked up part. But except that it's like, dang, when you've been out for a month, you get out trying to do the right thing. I'm talking about, yeah, you might be entertaining the internet a little bit with finesse 2 times, but ultimately you had your heart on doing the right thing, and then this kind of stuff happens, right? So tough situation. We'll see how it all goes. I do expect whenever the court starts and stuff that the manager will have to go speak on behalf of HoneyKomb Brazy, just to admit what he already admitted right here. And also the security guards, I don't know if they're going to try to do something. I don't know what type of snitching that they could potentially do to get out of the trouble that they're in, unless they've been overhearing conversations or something like that at all. But if the guns are in their names and they were hired for security legitly, and there's proof behind it, I don't think that should be able to fall on HoneyKomb Brazy. But anyways, let me know something. Who do y'all think this falls on? Like, obviously it's on HoneyKomb Brazy because he's locked up, and the other people, but do y'all think that the manager, is slimy, grimy, or did he do his part and it just, it didn't work out because these guys didn't do their part like they were supposed to do? Who do y'all have to take most of the blame for this? In y'all's eyes, who do y'all think takes most of the blame? Let me know something. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about this entire ordeal. I'm out.